Oh. Oh. Well. I see you've all gotten comfortable.
You think they'll let us expense the booze?
There is such a thing as too clean. We ought to break open a few bottles and have some fun. Make a mess. Live a little.
No. We're not gonna do that.
To on-the-go cleanliness,
Stop it.
Everything's so
the competition.
soft and silky and expensive. Oh gosh, I hope I don't get any grease stains on the furniture.
The longer we stay here, the more I can feel my mind soften.
Where's Felix? Felix? Alright.
This room ain't so bad. I could get used to this.
Who's that? Oh yeah. I guess these are things they still haven't cleaned out from the previous owner of this room. Interesting. Anything worth finding here? Anything worth seeing? A couple of bits. What's that? Just a bunch of nonsense, it seems. Alright.
Inspector, I understand you've visited the scene of the crime. Halcyon Helen was an important cultural icon. She will be sorely missed.
You mean Ruth Bellamy? Halcyon Helen was just a character, you know that, right?
Halcyon Helen was more than a character. She was a brand. Her death will now be associated with Rizzo's Spectrum Brown. You understand why that worries me.
Well, any publicity is good publicity.
I wish I had your blithe sense of optimism. Helen's death means delays. Delays mean expenses. Expenses mean audits. Audits mean people like me lose our jobs. Back to the matter at hand. Tell me about your investigation.
Helen was at the Purpleberry Orchards before her death.
I can't imagine she had any business outside the hotel. If you discover what she was doing at the orchard, please let me know. Here, I'm granting you access through the gates to the orchards. You're officially authorized to see this investigation through to the end. There is one caveat. Cedric's being rather intransigent about letting you into the spaceport. Possibly he's trying to hide something. Possibly he wants to annoy me. Possibly both.
So you're telling me that he locks his doors the moment an investigator arrives? That's not suspicious at all.
I agree with the sentiment behind your snide remark. Unfortunately, the Piraeus spaceport is Cedric's purview, not mine. You have a lead to chase. Law speed, Inspector.
I'll be back, Administrator. Oh.
Timeline discrepancy detected nearby.
What is it?
The imprint left inside this suitcase matches the silhouette of Halcyon Helen's iconic handgun, the Needler. The weapon was recently removed.
Really? Recently, you say? That's interesting.
Hi there, Inspector. It might be a little beyond my job description to ask, but at my heart, I'm still a bellhop. Was the suite to your liking?
It was fine.
That's completely fine, Inspector. Hopefully you'll warm up to it. Now, I'd love to bring you to a floor of your choosing.
Bring me back to the lobby, please.
To the lobby we go.
Oh, you're that Inspector. Right. Sorry, but the pool's currently closed on account of it stinking worse than my boss. What can I do for you?
Well, why does the pool look all green?
Space me if I knew. I got here from my shift this morning and found it this way. They can't yell at me for this one, which is good, because a lot of folks seem upset by it.
This morning. So it happened just before the Spectrum Brown launch?
Gee, you're pretty sharp. Yeah, the reception party would have extended out here, but we had to close it off. What with the contamination. And now the reception ain't happening anyway. Can't do much now but wait for the stench to wear off. We found the individual hired to clean face down in a puddle of his own spit in the orchards. Guess he won't be helping.
Face down in his own spit.
Look, I call it how I see it. They found the poor slackwit alongside syringes enough to put down a herd of mantisaurs. His family will have to be fined. Rizzo should have been more careful about who they hired. They're lucky nothing got permanently damaged.
Something about this sounds off kilter. I'd like to take a look around.
Alright. You may want to visit the Sun Parlor. That's where that Rizzo's fool mixed the chemicals he used. Oh, and you can talk to Lily, my boss. She probably has some great advice. I saw her walk toward the bridge to the Purpleberry Orchards earlier. Reckon she's still there. Now, anything else I can do for you?
Yeah, I got some questions about the pool.
So long as you don't want to go in, I can answer anything you like.
You're pretty heavily armed for a pool guard, aren't you?
Yeah, it's part of the job. I think I'm listed as a security consultant. But all that really means is that if I'm caught without this thing, I get put on pool guard duty. I don't know what happens if I'm caught without it on pool guard duty, but I know that I don't want to find out.
I see. You said that Rizzo's hired someone to do the cleaning?
Yep, still dead. Usually Rizzo's is pretty good at making sure the people they hire ain't got tripicale for brains, but that fella clearly wasn't worth trusting. I met him briefly once. Seemed level-headed enough, but that must have been just a front. Otherwise, he wouldn't have made such a mess of things.
I see. Well, that'll be all for now.
Sounds good to me.
I'll be on my way. Oh. Looks like we got some sprats in the pool. That might be it. What can you tell me about this?
Timeline discrepancy detected nearby.
Go on.
Analysis reveals the chemical signature of this compound is 80% semblant of fertilizer used in the Purpleberry Orchards. The other 20% is semblant of pool water.
80% fertilizer, eh? What's that doing here? Mechanical contraption for propagating chemicals inserted above the pool water. Someone has scratched a sentence in the filter's plating. Arian was here. Arian. Huh. You there?
Hi again. It's like I just saw you. Pool's still closed, unfortunately.
That's alright. It looks like the chemicals can be added to the pool filter. I'm going to attempt making a pool cleaner.
All sounds right by me. It'll be nice to actually have guests to guard. Sinuses that work.
Agreed. The sooner I can get rid of this odor, the better.
Sorry, did you say something? I couldn't hear over the smell. Sound. What'd you say?
I said I'll be on my way.
Nature will out, regardless of man's feeble attempts at control.
Whew. Thanks for the help back there. I've actually never fired a gun before. Is this ringing in your ears normal?
Yeah, you get used to it.
That's more than a little disconcerting, since I maxed out my medical allotment this month. That's what I call my booze fund. Still, I had to be alive to be able to go deaf later. I'm not sure if I actually hit any shots. If you hadn't intervened, could have been bleak.
Seems like it'd be Slug's job to keep a horde of Raptidons from getting this far.
I'm just as confused as you are. Someone should have been on shift to see them coming. Ms. Vargas would probably have a better idea of what happened. She's stationed at the luxury pad.
Alright. Take care. Hello? What's this? Seems Rizzo's has set me up with a rather straightforward task. Slug has an automatic mixer for their pool cleaner. If it's automatic, one would think it wouldn't need to be manually cycled. But I suppose I should be thankful it works at all. Mix the chemicals by cycling each vat, then use the console to create a compound once you have the desired combination. Not exactly building a terraformer here, but no matter how simple these things are, some people will still have problems. Good thing that I've been at this for as long as I have. Chemicals. Chloronosol, red, number 1. Muriatic acid, green, number 2. Brominating oxalator, yellow, 3. Blue water coloring number 422, blue, 4. Hydrogenated defoamer, orange, 5. Seems odd to store all of these chemicals together. Putting some of these together would render that pool less habitable than some of the sulfur pits on Monarch. Perhaps that's why they decided to hire a professional. Beneath the entry, there's a note in different handwriting. Any opportunistic freelancer that reads this should meet me on the hotel balcony. I have a business opportunity. Huh.
Timeline discrepancy detected nearby.
What? There's a discrepancy here?
Sampling of the barcode reveals it is host not only to alcohol, but a variety of other substances as well. Among the selection are adrenatime, pep pills, dervish mist, and many other narcotics with unrecognized chemical signatures.
Well, taking any 2 of these at once could shut down most of a person's organs.
Chemical analysis confirms user comment. This news is unlikely to factor into the murder, however, due to frequency of Byzantine narcotic misuse.
I guess rich folks know how to party.
System error. By know how to party, did you mean die?
I guess. Something tells me they won't miss a few extra bottles here and there.
Moralizing. It's not theft, it's object repositioning.
Exactly. Now you're getting the picture.
I saw you meander on out of the pool and into the greenhouse. Now you're here. Does that mean what I think it means?
I don't know. What do you think it means?
Might mean that you can be trusted. Might not. Guess we'll see.
So why go after a hotel pool? Not exactly the most high-profile target.
Maybe not. Maybe I just want Rizzo's working relationship with Slug to implode for the benefit of Spacer's choice. But you're right. It ain't high profile. And it ain't gotta be. Any damage to Rizzo's is cause for celebration. You ain't gotta concern yourself with my spite. Consider me an average Byzantine, and I'll consider you an average contractor.
Alright, I'll consider your contract.
That's great to hear. Or grand, as the Byzantines are so fond of saying. Not that I ain't one. There's a chemical mixing machine in the greenhouse that has more than a few volatile chemicals. Mix them and render that pool unusable. Anything that ain't a cleaner should do. Dump the mix into the pool, then find somebody in Slug and tell them you did it for Rizzo's. That'll get those damn bastards into some red water.
But why Rizzo's?
They're getting a tad too cozy with your friendly neighborhood slugs. We don't want either gaining power on the board. Easier to do so if their alliance ain't so sweet anymore. Personally, I don't think we're going far enough. Rizzo's is all smiling gun hands and uppity scientists. Wouldn't mind bringing them down with some well-placed bullets, but meh. If you're worried about this hurting your relationship with Slug, I wouldn't. The guard's thicker than the shit in that pool. Tell him you're with Rizzo's and he won't question it.
I'm confused by the time scale here. Did Rizzo's run the pool, or was that you?
This here's a messy business, friend. And when it comes to messy businesses, the rule's always the same. Don't get too curious, whether it's about Saltuna additives or espionage. Spacer's choice didn't ruin anything. Rizzo's did. And ain't that a coincidence? But it's also going to be Rizzo's that permanently puts that pool out of commission.
I see. Well, I'm off now.
Dandy. Come on back once you've done your deed.
See ya. There we go.
Oh, thanks a million, Inspector. The smell cleared right up. Well, in a couple hours, the guests might even be back. Then I actually gotta start doing my job. Of course, we're not gonna get a follow-up shipment for the water anytime soon, so they'll have to content themselves on the deck. I got a little something for making my job that much less miserable. It's the key to our storeroom. If my boss asks, you never met me.
Alright, well, thanks for the first half of my payment. Now, what about the rest?
I guess I can spare a few bits. And, here, this pack of smokes. Sorry, they don't really load me up with the goods. I gotta get back to it if you don't mind, Inspector.
You do that. So, yeah.
Something must have gotten lost between you and me. I seem to recall asking you to acidify the pool, not to do slugs work for them.
What you wanted was wrong. Plain and simple.
Wrong? Is what Rizzo's wants any better? What about Slug? Are they right? Everyone's ambitions get in the way of everyone else's ambitions. It's how Halcyon works. Now, run along while I go back to my plotting.
Swear to the architect, Matthias, if you've lost your rifle's ionization, coil again. Oh, wait, you ain't part of my crew. What do you want?
Yeah, the pool guard told me to talk to you. Said he'd had some advice.
Oh, thank the law you're here about the pool. That crucial thing that isn't my job to fix, and that, as such, I don't care about. If you want advice, here it is. Don't talk to that imbecile ever again. Even by my crew's standards, he's duller than a telescoping staff. And he's not even one of my worst problems. I got landing pad lockdowns, gate closures, angry guests, and now one of my crew is AWOL.
Is it Matthias?
I wish. Matthias is about as useful as a manta queen in a saltuna cannery. Wouldn't give a damn if he were lost. Frankly, he'd be doing me a favor.
Well, I'm actually here on inspector business, so I could look into that missing person business for you.
If you're serious, I'd appreciate the help. He's been missing a few days, and we're low on staff as it is.
A few days? Why'd you wait until now to search for him?
It's not exactly uncommon for slug agents to go on the odd bender. They'll pick a place they think I don't know about and hunker down. Usually I don't bother with the discipline and paperwork. Gotta pick your battles. Thing is, they usually resurface within 24 hours, or at least yell for medical help. This guy, not a peep.
I see. I'll look into it. What do I need to know?
The missing crew member's Evan O'Connell. He's one of about 2 slug agents I can trust with more complex tasks than stand here and look tough. Friendly type. Well behaved, followed orders. Anyone else, I'd think they got drunk and fell asleep in a ditch somewhere, but O'Connell's not really the type. He was last stationed at the Wilderness checkpoint. I'd search there first.
I'll get on that. See ya.
Did you know a third of Halcyonites are allergic to trees? Most
Timeline discrepancy detected. Nearby.
Hold that thought, Ellie. We've got a clue to investigate.
These footprints match the shoes previously analyzed in the Grand Ballroom. There is a 110% chance with a 10% margin of error that they were left by Ruth Bellamy, the actress known as Halcyon Helen.
10% minus 10. Oh, it's pretty good. That's a pretty large chance. Alright. Let's examine the footprint depth and spacing. It seems that the spacing between each footstep is short, and the imprint in the dirt deep, as if determined. It would appear that Helen was in a hurry. The tracks hesitate, partially turning in one spot as if Helen paused to look behind her. She may have feared she was being followed.
Anything interesting?
There are definitely Helen's footprints. She seemed in a hurry, and she seemed to think that she was being followed.
That's quite the amazing device.
Yeah. It's called my brain.
Maybe I could hold up my end if
What
your
the-
people weren't sabotaging my operations.
Hello?
And if sabotaging the orchards weren't enough, you had to make it personal. You really had to bust my Insta coffee maker too? The nerve.
Hold that asinine thought. Who was this armed stranger who just wandered into your office? Back up for a fight you can't finish?
What the hell are you talking about? I don't know this fella. I think it's mightily more likely that he's under your payroll. Here to burn down what you haven't already.
Well, things do have a tendency to break around me, but I don't know about sabotage.
I see. Just a visitor, then. Congratulations, Hathaway. Not everyone's abandoned your orchards.
Well, shame that you're trying to change that. Anyway, sorry for the heated reception, stranger. There's just been some trouble here of late. Name's Overseeing Orchardist Hathaway, and I'm in charge of these orchards. Though it seems like certain groups, which will remain unnamed, are trying to change that. Looks like I'm stuck playing the part of customer service rep. Guess it's different from the usual, at least. Something I can do for you?
Right. So who are you?
I'm the Overseeing Orchardist of the Purpleberry Orchards. My job is to make sure we hit our production quotas.
Overseeing Orchardist? Are we meant to surmise that's a position of some importance?
You better believe it is. Unfortunately, I also have to fight a constant battle with unproductivity. And we sure as hell ain't winning that right now. We're way behind, and with Rizzo's Spectrum Brown set to unveil soon, we can't afford to be this way for long. Hell, it'd look grim for my job even if Slug weren't trying to knock me off my perch.
I get the feeling you don't enjoy your job very much.
Where'd you get that idea? Don't I look happy? Being here is an unemployment sentence. I can't blame anyone else for any screw-ups because I'm in charge. And there's loads of direct scrutiny from the administrator. Those void-damned lab coats and R&D knew that. It was why they sent me here. I think they knew the orchards were gonna start having problems too. Bastards.
Mm-hmm. So, what does an overseeing orchardist do?
Supervise, make sure produce gets where it needs to go, cry every couple days. I report directly to Administrator Ludovico, which is more than a little stressful.
I see. Well, back to my other questions.
Okay, then.
Well, it seems like you are the man to ask about the orchards.
Whether or not I like it, yes, that's right.
I overheard you complaining about quotas?
Yeah. Quotas are higher than ever because of the upcoming release of Spectrum Brown, but we haven't been hitting them. Frankly, it's ridiculous. Our workers are all about 30% more productive than usual. They keep getting injured, which is setting us behind. I blame the treatment Rizzo's keeps making them get.
What kind of injuries do they get?
It's like the workers all forgot their 10-minute workplace safety seminars. And that's twice as long as the next leading brand. Our people should be safety experts. And yet, I've seen folks step on open electrical wires, drop pallets on each other. One damn fool even blundered into a wasp keto hive. Even as he died, he looked fairly pleased.
I'm sorry, a what? Did you just say wasp keto? So, Rizzo's is making its workers get some kind of treatment?
Look, they don't tell me the specifics. All I know is that the workers leave their typical morose selves and come back more chipper than an automechanical woodcarver. Look at Jacob, our groundskeeper, if you ain't met him. If he were any less personable before, I'd have had him replaced with a trained canid. Now he's all smiles.
I see. Well, never mind.
Okay, then.
I ever heard you mention sabotage?
Yeah. Just another woe to add to the pile. In the past, the orchard subcontracted security work from Slug. You know, keep the malcontents on staff from causing too much trouble. But Between
Alright.
the Spectrum Brown unveiling demanding all of our resources and the recent uptick in worker accidents, we just ain't got the budget for security. And, of course, Slug has decided that instead of being reasonable, they're just gonna sabotage our operations until we start paying them again.
Look at the poor Rizzo's manager, lying about Sublight to make himself feel better. Shame he skipped where Rizzo's were short on our payments months before the new unveiling.
Look, at the end of the day, it's obvious that Slug is sabotaging us. I ain't paying until they come clean.
Well, what sort of sabotage has there been?
Oh, you know, nothing particularly troublesome. Just rogue exterminator mechanicals, opening fire on anything that twitches within 300 yards of them. We've also got a large group of new saplings, all dead from some kind of toxic substance. Poison, I'd guess. And who could forget the tower processing console, which probably just shorted out and stopped working on its own, even though it's outfitted with 3 separate backup systems?
There are a suite of explanations for what could have happened, most pointing to Rizzo's worker incompetence. My people didn't sabotage anything.
Well, I could try to figure out what's really going on.
Thank the law, some good news. You hear that, lapdog? Truth's coming. Better fess up while you still can outside of an interrogation room.
While I'm sure you'd love to have a scapegoat on whom you can pin your own incompetence, I suspect you'll be disappointed. But what do I know? I suppose it's up to your new hiree.
I suppose it is.
I'm sorry you had to come in on such a brusque conversation. Not everyone appreciates the work Slug does on Eridanos.
Especially not folk that Slug is trying to extort.
Alright, it seems I need to say it yet again. We're not stomping upon your purple berries or knocking your workers off the planetoid. All we want is for you to pay your dues.
And I want you to stop setting our exterminator mechanicals loose and breaking our machinery.
This is how the conversation has gone for the last hour and a half. As you can see, it hasn't been terribly productive.
So what seems to be your problem with the overseeing orchardist?
Well, he's being difficult, as you've no doubt seen. All I'm here to do is enforce an agreed-upon business relationship. But our friend here is disinclined to settle.
Don't tell me to settle. Why don't you settle?
Yes, I'll be sure to do that. I know what you must be thinking, but no, I'm not here to atomize his kneecaps. I just want Slug to get what we're owed.
So this is an official agreement with Rizzo's.
Much as we love giving the bureaucrats 29% of our profits, technically not. Official contracts have some rather obscene fees and documentation. Instead, our company's opted for a non-official manager's agreement. I'm just here to make certain our friend over there pays on time.
I see. You know, you sound a bit like an extortionist to me. I don't know if that there's...
Do I? Didn't realize that expecting my company to be paid for its work was extortion. You should try telling that to the board. Regardless, Slug's protection service has ensured that Rizzo's has had 0 problems with its shipments at the docks, and all for a reasonable price. We haven't been hostile when their payments came up short either. In fact, Rizzo's is more of a danger to the orchards than us, considering all the workplace injuries.
Alright, let's talk about something else.
Yes, I think we've spoken enough about that imbecile. What can Slug do for you?
You see any sign of Halcyon Helen recently?
Nope. Sorry, but this is the first I've visited this area in over a month. Shame about Helen. Liked her movies.
I could never get past her hair. No one having that many gunfights could have hair that perfect.
Celebs as big as Helen always seem to elicit strong binary opinions in people. But that's neither here nor there.
I see. I'd like to ask a little more about you.
You're welcome to. I don't have any secrets.
Do you do anything other than make sure Slug's business partners pay on time?
Certainly. When I'm not out on a job, they usually stick me in the Slug mess hall. I may be a service collector, but that doesn't mean I can't make a damn fine triple pie.
I see. You're
back, I see. Glad Slug hasn't managed to scare you off.
I think it's more of a wonder that nothing in these law-forsaken orchards has managed to kill them.
How's the investigation going? You got a complete report for me yet?
No, I'm still looking.
Well, at the moment I can't do a whole lot with this vulture hanging over my shoulder. So I suppose you may as well take your time.
Really now? I consider myself more of a watch canid, here to make sure you don't try to run off without paying us.
There's something else you need to know?
Alright, well, I guess... Let me ask you about these leads I'm about to investigate. What can you tell me about the nursery?
Got a lot of dead saplings that'll cost us a lot of bits. I got a feeling someone poisoned them somehow.
Alright, something in particular to look out for in the processing control room?
The tower processing console is completely fried. Whoever took it out must have used some kind of explosive.
Explosives, right, okay. And what happened in the Exterminator Automech Depot?
The mechanicals were hacked. They're pretty much running amok. If you could keep from destroying too many, I'd be obliged. Would save us a lot. That said, you might want to be careful. Those things are built to take on waspkitos, and waspkitos are generally tougher to kill than people. Just something to keep in mind.
Good to know. See ya.
Whoa, whoa, whoa! It's Rizzo's! Welcome to the Purpleberry Nut Hut, you wonderful, wonderful customer! Thank you for giving my humble existence value.
No one can give you value. It is yours intrinsically. You just need notice it. But you seem happy regardless.
I sure am! Good lamps you got on you to take notice.
What in law's name is that on your neck?
Oh, that? I call it my little passenger. I don't know why. The name just appeared in my head when this thing showed up on my neck.
Right. Well, don't move. I'll try and cut it off you.
Don't you dare! Or I'll cut something off you! Gosh, I'm sorry. I don't know where that came from. I just felt this urge to protect my little passenger, even if it means hurting you.
Right. Well, now I'm getting worried. How did you pick that thing up?
I don't know. It just appeared one day. I guess I just picked it up while working in the orchards. Sometimes I wonder how it showed up, and I start to worry. But worrying feels bad, and I hate feeling bad. So I don't worry about it.
Right. And how long have you been this way?
Couple of days. Ever since it showed up, I've been feeling happier and happier. I really can't imagine life without my little passenger.
Well, that's just great. Can we change the topic?
Now I'd love to get you something. Maybe a couple somethings? Whatever you like, I can sell it to you at a low, low price.
Halcyon Helen was in the orchards before she died. Have you seen her?
No, I'm sorry. The only celebrity who shopped recently is Black Hole Birdie. Quite the affable man, as it so happens. And the stories are wrong. He could probably lift 2 benches of tossball players at once, not just one. Laws, not just affable, but virile, too. Ooh, wait a minute. Now that his beau's dead, that means Birdie's single. Maybe I'll strike up a little more than conversation the next time he comes by.
Seems a little soon, don't you think?
Oh, it's never too soon for happiness. Why wait when I could act now?
Right. Is there anything you could tell me about the orchards?
I'm so glad you asked. The orchards are my 3rd favorite subject, with my first being Rizzo's refreshing drinks and my second being Rizzo's toothsome confectionaries. Our orchards are the source of 63% of Rizzo's total produce, which correlates to 112% of fresh goods throughout all of Halcyon. Give or take a few percent, of course. If you want to know more about each part of the orchards, might I recommend one of our fantastic tours? One of our options is even audio-guided as a special bonus feature.
I might be interested in hearing more about your tours.
Oh, I'm so glad you said that. Our tours are my 4th favorite subject. Every part of the orchards is so rich with Rizzo's lore. Buy a tour ticket and anoint yourself with knowledge.
Alright, what are my options?
We have 3 tour options: Premium, Premium Plus, and the Golden Ticket. Each option is wonderful in its own special way. Premium includes a 10-minute pass to the Sprat Petting Zoo. Premium Plus comes with the novelty Purpleberry and Amber, and the Golden Ticket is audio-guided in addition to being self-guided.
Alright, I think I'll buy a ticket.
Which kind would you like?
The golden ticket, please.
You're in luck. We have 1 left. Normally they're 100 bits, but seeing how I'm sold out of everything else, I can give it to you for just 90. How does that sound?
Perfect.
That's great. Thank you so much.
Goodbye.
Well, sweet hello there, valued visitor. I am sure sorry to break it to you, but our orchards are closed to all officially guided tours at this precise moment in time.
There's obviously something very wrong with this individual. That smile is unsettling, to put it mildly.
Why, thank you! Rizzo's encourages all workers to put on a happy face when engaging with valued customers. Rizzo's does beseech you to please purchase one of our self-guided options if you're wishing to join one of our rejuvenative, relaxing, reformatory tours. Now with a Puzzlehedges trademark maze hunt and special edition taste testing for an extra 35 bits a ticket.
Do you know if Halcyon Helen came through here?
Ah, you mean that lovely actor who got herself dead? Damn shame what happened to her. She did come by, but not during any official tour time. I thought she'd hired a private tour at first, but it was Dr. Blossom who was showing her the way to the RR and DD labs. Can't imagine why she'd need to meet with our head researcher on the Spectrum product line outside of her lab hours. Unless, of course, it had to do with the new product unveiling.
Well, she was the spokeswoman for Spectrum Brown's ad campaign.
That's right, she was. She sure made for some lovely adverts. Maybe it might have involved an issue with the launch batch then? I can't rightly say. All I know is one of our certified tour guides could have given her a much more comprehensive tour of the grounds were that her interest.
Right. So, have you seen any murder weapons lying around? I don't know, a bottle of poison, a smoking laser pistol, a bloodied blunt force object?
Can't say that I have. We use bad batches of liquor for our pesticides. Only the exterminator mechanicals are armed around here. And I haven't seen any bloody objects aside from the usual pair of gardening shears. Unless, that is, Miss Helen was also stung to death by pollinization mosquitoes? She wasn't, was she? That would be a mighty wretched way to go.
Excuse me? Deadly pollinization mosquitoes?
Pollinization by killer mosquitoes, indeedy. It's cutting-edge Rizzo's technology. But don't you worry, valued visitor. Our pollinization cycles only run when the orchards are empty, for safety reasons. When a pollinization cycle finishes or is aborted, all mosquitoes are biologically programmed to return to the hive, their holding pen. Of course, the very last thing Rizzo's would want is a beloved tourist bumbling into the hive and triggering an unscheduled cycle. So you'd best steer clear of it for safety. You'll know the hive by its big, glimmering electric fencing.
I see. So are you the groundskeeper here?
Yes, indeedy. I've got the wondrous honor of having just been promoted to 3rd keeper of the grounds after the last one disappeared on the job. Gosh, I guess about a week ago now. Before my morning clock-in last Sunday, I was but a lowly nanner peeler picker on the line shift. Now I'm responsible for growing every twig and berry on this vast swath of fertile land.
And you don't find it suspicious that the last groundskeeper went missing unexpectedly?
Heaven sweet, no. It's not like he was murdered. He simply disappeared without a trace and hasn't been heard from since. And the groundskeeper before that one? Well, she wasn't missing at all. Her body was found near hive control, covered head to toe in thousands of welts. No mystery, and certainly no murder with what happened there. I mean, you can't exactly hold some mosquitoes on trial. Accidents do happen on the job.
Well, shouldn't you be more worried for your well-being? Seems like groundskeepers don't last long around here.
Why would I? I am daily filled with bursting happiness by bringing to fruition my life's purpose. This job is a blessing. In fact, I can't say I've ever been merrier in my whole life. I reckon you could talk to my supervisor, the overseeing orchardist. He would know more. I used to ask questions, but gee, I just don't feel the urge to anymore.
Well, I think I've heard enough, thank you.
Of course.
Goodbye.
I can't stop you from poking around, but do be mindful of our pollinization hive. Mosquitoes tend towards aggressive at the best of times. There's a reason why we keep him behind an electric fence, you know.
Of course.
Timeline discrepancy detected nearby.
Something tells me I'm gonna have to deal with some of these mosquitoes one day or another. What is it? What do you see? What? What is it? What? This? The tank? The person? The thing? The growth?
That's not funny!
What? The tree? Oh. It's all the way over here.
Timeline discrepancy detected nearby. Congratulations, Inspector. You've discovered more footprints belonging to the deceased actress known as Halcyon Helen.
Great. Wonderful. That's just...
Timeline discrepancy detected nearby.
Something's bumming
What? What's going on, guys? Why are you... Oh. Are you... Whoa.
Oh, yeah, that does it. Time for a drink?
What was that all about?
I've already told you 6 times, and I'll tell you 6 more. I don't want a fucking tour! You can badger me all you want. I don't care if I'm from Forest Mills. I'm here as an individual, and I have just as much right to be here as any other visitor. You're welcome to bring a lawyer if you really want to try to force me out, but I can guarantee you that I will bury them.
Do you scream at every single person who approaches you, or am I just special?
Don't play dumb with me. How many of you fools have I spoken to by this point? 7? 17? Wait a moment. You have all your teeth. You're not soaked in filth, and you don't look quite as slack-jawed as the regular Rizzo's staff. Are you not with Rizzo's?
I'm not, no.
My mistake. I'd ask what your intention was for coming here in that case, but I imagine you're not here for the Spectrum original either. Regardless, please inform me if you'd be interested in a job. I've spent enough time out here that I'm starting to itch. I do not enjoy itching. I'm sure you have questions.
You said you work for Forest Mills?
I do indeed. Specifically, I'm their general counsel. Forest Mills, if you somehow don't know, owns Tile, Wentworth, Dock Rocket, and 24/7 Furniture. We're something of a big deal.
And you're a lawyer. What are you doing all the way out here?
When the going gets tough, the lawyers start going. Some farther than others. I've been a junior lawyer for coming up on 20 years now. And quite frankly, I'm getting old. Hopefully, there will be enough legal kindling out here to fuel my firm for a while longer. And if I find that kindling, I stand to finally get my raise.
Right. So, you mentioned working together?
I did. You see, Rizzo's has been advertising a contest in the Puzzlehedges. Whoever gets to the center first gets a bottle of the first Spectrum ever made, the Spectrum Original. My interest, however, lies with the associated promise. the chance to attend the Spectrum Brown unveiling and meet Halcyon Helen.
But she's dead, and Rizzo's hasn't formally canceled the contest.
Indeed, you are a savvy one. Rizzo's can no longer make good on their promise, which means this entire contest is one big fraud case. All I need is a single piece of evidence. With the Spectrum original bottle, which is located in the center of the Puzzlehedges, I will have all I need to sue Rizzo's for all they're worth. That's where you come in.
Why would Rizzo's give one of their original products away for free?
I don't know if you know this, but Rizzo's is on the outs. They're losing power and losing money. This was no doubt a desperate bid to regain some lost clout. That, or their marketing team is particularly spiteful. You know the saying, I'm sure. Why work for a promotion when sabotage takes half the time and a quarter of the effort?
Do you know anyone else trying to get the Spectrum original?
2 buffoons, but persistent buffoons. There's that woman from Glacial Age who has perhaps never had an original idea in her life and hopes to pass the original off as her own. Then there's Navarre, who is strange. I suggested I give her the original after my lawsuit if we worked together, but she wouldn't hear of it. It must be hers alone, it seems.
So what does Forest Mills want to sue Rizzo's?
Technically, I sue not on behalf of Forest Mills, but for my own benefit. In arbitration, it might be difficult to argue that this contest is designed to slight Forest Mills. However, as it so happens, if my lawsuit takes a chunk out of their savings, then I can collect while also damaging their capital. It's a mutual win. I make millions, Rizzo's falls further from the board's good graces, and Forest Mills products look that much more valuable compared to Rizzo's trash.
Well, I still don't understand why you need my help. It's just a maze, isn't it?
Navigating the maze is normally no easy task. Rizzo's has no interest in giving their property, however old, away for free.
Getting lost and running into dead ends? We've had lots of practice.
I'm glad you're feeling confident, but this maze is deadly by design. And if that weren't enough, Zimmerman and Navarre don't want anyone sneaking away with their prize. The place is mined and rife with murderous mechanicals.
I'll be fine, don't you worry about me. Let's talk about something else.
Well, don't consider my offer too long. The longer we wait, the more we stand to lose.
Oh, well, in that case.
Yes. The longer we drag our feet, the more and more likely it becomes that one of my enemies will find it first.
Alright, Sammy. I'll get your prize.
Excellent. I look forward to finally being able to focus solely on legal matters. Oh, and keep an eye out for competitors. Odds are they'll be looking out for the original as well.
Like I said, don't worry about me. Come on, guys. We got a maze to solve.
Greetings. Have you brought your auto-mechanical to the service technician lately?
Now, what you just said sounds both banal and scripted enough to be a code phrase. Am I wrong?
Clever, aren't we? Should be careful. Making accusations like that could get a body into a lot of trouble. Anyway, forget it. You aren't the person I was looking for.
How do you know I'm not?
You're not covered in a layer of dirt, fertilizer, and self-loathing. Listen, I don't know you, so I'd rather keep my admissions to a minimum without the presence of legal counsel. I was waiting for someone to give me information about these hedges. That's as much as you need to know.
Why do people who are hiding something always have so much to say about it?
I take offense to that. I think.
Oh, I get it. You're after the prize in the center of the hedges, too.
Shh, not so loud.
Damn
it. I guess you already know. I am indeed looking for the prize. You've caught me.
And you're not the only one, I imagine?
No. There's a bottom feeder who sees an easy payday connected to it, but he's hardly worth considering. I also briefly engaged with an optimistic young woman intending to use the original as a springboard for upward mobility. Better than letting it rot, but still not ideal.
So, if finding the bottle won't let you go to the unveiling, why are you here?
What interest have I in an unveiling? I don't watch much in the way of serials, and crowds only make it easier for people to get behind you. I'm after the Spectrum original itself. And not to drink. Have you noticed that there's no trace of anything the corporations have done in the past? In fact, this contest for the original is the only time I've ever seen a corp refer to a prototype product not currently on the market. And why isn't it on the market?
Now that you mention it, that is a little strange.
Indeed. And it's happened before. Seems the Corp are trying to hide their past failings. Anyhow, it's valuable to me to collect that which might inform future generations.
Well, you see, I already sort of agreed to get the original for someone else.
Did you now? And how do you know the others aren't secretly Rizzo's agents who'll stab you in the back and take the bottle the moment you turn away? Give me the original and your actions will actually matter. I can promise you that.
We'll see.
Think fast. Never know when someone will come out of a bush, bolt or pistol at the ready. Keep your voice down. Never know who might be listening.
So who exactly are you?
Nobody of consequence. Think of me as an archivist. I collect that which the corporations have dismissed as failures and try to sweep under the rug. Take the recalled Spacer's Choice Powerhead. It was a shotgun shell on a stick, apparently supposed to be used like a spear. Had a tendency to ream the user's torso with buckshot. Corps don't want the common man to know about screw-ups like that, which is why I keep my actions decidedly in the shadows.
Uh-huh. You mentioned a prior Orchards contract?
I did. Someone I paid to inform on the Orchards after I heard murmurs of a prize here. For security reasons, I never learned much about my contacts. All I knew about this one was that they were a groundskeeper. But the one here is either senseless or acting very well. Presumably, whoever I was in contact with was lying. Or they were found out and hurled off the side of Eridanos. It's a risk of the business.
Fair enough. Oh.
There better be a timeline discrepancy detected nearby.
Alright, sorry, Ellie. Hold that thought. Our little device has found something. Somewhere. I just gotta figure out where it is.
Timeline discrepancy detected nearby.
Yeah, I heard you, but I don't... Is it up there? Where is it? Alright, I'm just gonna ignore you. Greetings and congratulations, visitor. You have found your way to the center of the Purpleberry Puzzlehedges and have earned this one-of-a-kind boon, the right to look upon a one-of-a-kind Rizzo's product free of charge. We encourage you to wonder at what the Spectrum original might taste like as you keep at least 3 feet away from the display case
Timeline discrepancy detected nearby.
at all time. Congratulations, explorer. You've reached the center of the Purpleberry Puzzlehedges. This certificate entitles you to a 5% discount on certain Rizzo's products at select Rizzo's vending machines. Note that the promise of discount nobody getting Rizzo vending machines have the occupiers responsibility or parties not. Where's the bottle? There's no bottle, it's just a thank you message.
Analysis. Ground appears to be scattered with purpleberry seedlings. This particular strain is of a variety proprietary to Rizzo's and should not be in common use.
There's a glass bottle containing some of these seedlings, half buried in the dirt. There's a label on the bottom that reads, "Property of Carter Reynolds, botanist." Looks like the person who took the original didn't hide their tracks so well. Let's go and have a chat with him, shall we?
My word, stranger, you sure gave me a fright. I thought you were one of those strange sorts heaving all over the place. Maybe they got a bad batch of purpleberry wine. Since you don't seem to be laughing maniacally or projectile vomiting, think you could do me a favor? I'm trying to come up with a new name for a glacial age product, but the creative side of things just isn't my area of expertise. Do you happen to have any ideas?
I guess I could try.
Great! Don't worry too much about getting it wrong. If the high-rungers hate your idea, I can always just blame it on an intern. So, the company I'm with is Glacial Age. Our products usually have a finer ring to them, and the product I'm trying to name is a vodka. Take your shot.
I don't know, how about volatile vodka? Could appeal to the Hammersmith crowd.
Wow, that sounds great! I'm sure my bosses will love it. And don't worry, I'll absolutely credit you in one of the product footnotes.
I get the funny feeling you're not just here to sightsee.
Hell no! Who'd sightsee in a place like this? I've nearly stepped on 3 landmines, and I just had to crawl through a hole in a hedge to keep myself from being crisped up by a mechanical. When you hear the word maze, do you typically think of instant death lurking around every corner? Because I sure don't.
Alright, so I'm gonna take a wild guess here. Seeing how you're in the maze, you want to reach the center.
Close. I want what's in the center. You've heard of the competition, right? Whoever gets to the center gets a rare Rizzo's product and the chance to meet Halcyon Helen? My eyes on the rare Rizzo's product, namely the Spectrum Original, the first product Rizzo's ever made. I intend to reverse engineer it and make it Glacial Age's own.
I'd say that just reworking someone else's old idea is ridiculous and pointless, but that seems to be what passes for innovation these days.
Ooh, this is dandy.
Tell me about
I was
it.
not expecting any feedback from field testing before I'd even created the product. I'll be sure to jot that down for future reference. All I need for my prototype is the original itself. Then I can start production.
So why do you want my help?
It's these damn Puzzlehedges. I don't know what I look like, but I reckon it ain't like a scrapper. That place is fit to burst with mines and killer machines. No doubt the work of my rivals. Better no one can get to the original if they can't have it.
Well, isn't stealing the original to make your own project kind of dishonest?
Dishonest? I've only ever heard that word used in that arbitration serial Lawful Labelle. Rizzo's steals, Spacer's Choice steals, Auntie Cleo steals. And so, if Rizzo's decides to release one of their original products for anyone to take, then it's Glacial Age's right to swoop in and be proactive.
Well, unfortunately, I already promised to give the original to someone else.
Looks like the others are getting a little more aggressive. I know it's asking a lot, but maybe you could find it for me instead? Help out a struggling R&D developer?
I'll think about it.
My, oh my. Wouldn't it be wonderful if a freelancer could help rescue me from my horrible plight?
You're a long way from the Glacial Age offices.
Hey, when a body hasn't contributed to her R&D team in what feels like months, she starts to pursue any leads that come her way. I tested into this job, same as anyone else, but there was a malfunction with the testing equipment during my final assessment. Makes me think that maybe I wasn't cut out for this. No matter what the scores say, it ain't easy for me to make things. Only had a few successes, like little sistis, pustules that pop, or my no muss, no fuss biodegradable bullets.
I I don't think I've heard of either of those products.
Ah, well, some of these ideas are still works in progress. Yes, just got to iron out the kinks. They'll catch on. Oh, unrelated, but if you think you see any tears in my eyes, it's just allergies acting up. Lots of plants and pollen and such in these orchards.
Hey! Oh, wait. I'm supposed to say the slogan. Okay, you can do this, Anna. Here goes. It doesn't matter if you're you or me. We're all part of the Rizzo's family. How was that?
That was quite enthusiastic.
Of course, that was completely splendid. You didn't embarrass yourself even the slightest bit.
No jest. Well, that's a wager I sure would have lost. Guess even a busted spectrometer can be right if you hold it to the light, huh? I'm sure you've guessed it,
Right.
but I'm not the best at remembering slogans. And when I can't remember them, I tend to just make them up. But I guess that's why I'm just an intern and not a full-timer. At least, not yet.
An intern? Wow. Don't think I've met one of those before.
It's not so different from being a regular worker, just with less pay and less respect. Oh, it's also more dangerous than traditional employment. You don't have the experience to back up your work yet, but being fired isn't any less threatening. Work-wise, I do a bit of everything. The orchards have been short-staffed as long as I've been working here. So if there's an odd job around, it usually gets passed to me.
I see. And how did you get your position?
Laws, you've got a sixth sense for finding the most embarrassing question, huh? My mother is the Rizzo's assistant vice president of flavor testing. She set me up with this position. Mostly to keep me from troubling her work, I think. Consequently, I don't always feel like I deserve to be here. All the more reason to work harder, I say.
I take it you don't intend to stay an intern?
Much as I love delivering coffee and medical attention, not quite, no. Don't tell anyone I said this, but I sometimes feel that our workers could be treated a little better. Maybe only get electrocuted awake every other day? So I'm shooting for administration in Rizzo's. Maybe even the board itself. Best way to evoke change is from the inside, I think.
Right, well, I think I've learned my fill.
Happy to enlighten you on the fascinating world of internships. Let me know if there's anything I can help you with. Unless you already have, and I've forgotten. In which case, I probably won't forget a second time.
You see any sign of a... what? A Bella-geared actor running around?
Oh yes. I thought I saw someone who looked self-important enough to be her by the conservatory some time ago. Not to speak ill of the dead. I simply never liked the way she stole the limelight from the true star. Burbage 3001.
Oh, so you're a Burbage fan.
I certainly am. That aerodynamic chassis, how the light glints off his rotund head, the way he enunciates, cry havoc, and let loose the canids of war. Excuse me, I got a little lightheaded there. Nobody does Shakespeare like Burbage. What were we talking about?
Showbiz?
I suppose so. I also suppose Helen won't be stealing the limelight ever again.
You haven't been causing trouble in the orchards, have you?
What? No, that's ridiculous. I can't tell you I've never made any mistakes, but it'd be pretty hard to keep my job if I were trying to break everything. Though there was the time I tried to fix a broken hinge on one of our mosquito hives and released a swarm. Chased me around the orchards 3 times before I managed to get help.
And how is this an example of you not screwing up?
Hey, that was one honest mistake. One! And considering the fact that mosquitoes have a tendency to kill people, I think I learned my lesson. As did the rest of Rizzo's. Don't worry though, mosquitoes are typically only about when living folks aren't in the orchards.
Well, why let the bugs out at all? Seems like it'd be better just to exterminate them.
No. The mosquitoes are incredibly helpful for the orchards. They almost never get out either, and when they do, it's just a matter of recalling them from hive control. But this is all a departure from what I wanted to say. I've been trying to help the orchards, not harm them. Hold a moment. You haven't found anything, have you?
Look, I think you should just You should really just come clean.
But there's nothing to come clean about. I've just been doing my best out here.
Alright, goodbye. I hope they are telling the truth.
Hey, what are you doing in here? Are you authorized to be in the conservatory? Are you trying to give me a heart attack? Are you my ex-wife? No, she fell off the side of Eridanos under mysterious circumstances 6 years ago, conveniently rendering our marriage contract null. You must be the new, groundskeeper? That can't be it either, seeing how the new one hasn't died yet. Just who are you?
Well, it's a hard question to answer, isn't it? Who am I, really? Who are any one of us?
Merciful law, that sounds like a lot of philosophism, which is highly outlawed throughout Halcyon. But I won't report you, considering how heavily armed you are. Bleeding hell. Standing up like this makes a body forget how stiff he gets, bent over plants all day. Oh, seems I'm not as young as I feel.
So I found this bottle at the heart of the Puzzlehedges. It says it's yours.
Oh, there that damn thing is. Thank you. I guess this proves it's wise to label your things. Otherwise, some fool might use them as prizes in an ill-advised scavenger hunt.
Well, you see, I found it real close to where I should have found the Rizzo's original. Strange, no?
I will admit, I did take the original, yes. But I did so to keep it away from those who shouldn't have it. It's safer in my hands. If you're here to get it, I might suggest you give up. I'm known to be quite a stubborn kid.
Well, let me put it to you this way. You taking the original makes it seem like Rizzo's lied about a prize, which is fraud.
Damnation, hadn't thought of that. Isn't my having it better than any random guest making off with it? I guess not, if it'll cause the company more trouble. Here's the original. Don't do anything with it that I wouldn't do.
Thank you very much.
Hello again, youngster. Bleeding hell. Standing up like this makes a body forget how stiff he gets, bent over plants all day. Oh, seems I'm not as young as I feel.
So, you're a botanist, right? What do you do for Rizzo's?
I sit inside and I look at plants. Goal is usually to make Rizzo's fruit products hardier and sweeter, but for every success, there are a couple of hundred failures. Example, tried breeding native Tripicale with a foreign strain. Would have called it Hexticale. In the end, it bred so fast, workers were swallowed up before they could harvest it. That one, I think, can be attributed to the Waspitos. Some lament their irritability, but their productivity is unmatched. What's a few dead workers in the architect's designs?
I'll take your word for it.
You'd be the first to. Everyone else just says, I got bark instead of a heart. They just don't understand me, not like my plants do.
So did Halcyon Helen come through here?
Indeed. Tromped in and out of the conservatory with no heed for anyone else. Good thing none of my charges were damaged. Starlet or not, I would have had a harsh word for her. I heard she pushed her way into a tour of the RR&DD labs not soon after. She's just a serial actress. Yet she acts like she's deserved of the same access as a co-CEO. Well, she's not going anywhere ever again. Which is a shame, of course. Taken too soon and all.
Uh-huh. Goodbye, Carter.
Hi there, somebody I don't know. Have you stopped to smell the purple-berry flowers of late? Keep your voice down. Never know who might be listening.
Here you go. The Spectrum Original.
Let me have a look. It's a little scratched on the neck, and the label's a bit smudged. Smells funny, but I think it is genuine, yes. This'll look real good in my archives. Here's your pay. I'll be in touch if there's ever another time when I need to keep a corporation honest. And if anyone ever asks, we never met.
Fine by me. See ya.
It seems the prize I was after has mysteriously vanished. Of course, I am perfectly composed and not fucking furious about the utter waste of time and money.